Hello everybody, my name is WelfareFish or Christian, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something that has been on my mind for a while now, but also something that has become more prevalent and relevant and apparent in the past couple of days. And that topic would be the current state of the Darwin Project community. This is something that I see not a lot of people talking about. There's not a lot of partners, the developers aren't really talking about it, but I feel like it's an issue that everybody's just dodging around, and someone needs to talk about it so it's actually out there and we can feel like it's okay to communicate about this stuff. This video is going to be split into 3 parts or sections, and those 3 sections being the recent roadmap drama, for lack of a better word. Then we'll be talking about all the toxicity, racism, and misogyny that is currently in the community and is very rampant. And finally, I'd like to end with a message to the Darwin Project partners that are out there. So without further ado, let's get into the video and let's do this, guys. So part 1 is the roadmap drama. Now this roadmap drama leads to a bigger issue, so just stay with me. For those of you that don't know, the people over at Scavenger's Studio, I always mess that up, so I'm probably going to do it again in this video as well, recently released a blog post talking about some of the new additions that have been added with the full release of the game. It was a really cool post for those of you that haven't seen it. Like it talked about, oh hey, here are the new classes, here's Darwinium, here's the items we removed. It was a mix between like a blog post infographic and patch notes, I would say personally. But towards the end of the post, they revealed a 2020 roadmap for Darwin Project, which looks something like this. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, the roadmap will be on screen right now so you guys can see it. But throughout the year of 2020, we'll be getting 3 new battle passes, 2 new classes, a new tile, duos mode, a game mode update, stats tracking, updates to the spectator experience on Twitch, and there's supposed to be an and there, but it's not there in my script. So that's what we're getting in 2020, which is a lot of stuff. And now you may be asking, that sounds like a lot of new additions. How could anybody be upset? And when the roadmap came out, I asked the same exact thing. But a section of people are upset, and that section of people happens to be the competitive community of Darwin Project. The competitive community wants Top 100 to come back. They want leaderboards. They want stats tracking to come sooner into the game. And as stated by a Darwin Project partner on Twitter, they want things that allow for the serious player base to put their skills to the test. That's a quote. Now, we'll come back to that quote in just a moment. Now, honestly, I understand where that group of players is coming from. If there's any of you watching this right now, I understand where you guys are coming from. I get it. I really do. But, and this may come as a shock to some of you guys, the game does not revolve around your wants and needs. It doesn't revolve around the competitive community, and honestly, it never should. And that may sound harsh, but I think you'll understand it more as we keep going here. The game has a casual player base that is constantly having new people in it. People that want to have a battle pass to grind, that want to have duos so they can play with a friend. And hey, we're getting those things. And for people that are right now that are against the battle pass, I don't see why you are, because it was literally one of the things that IGN pointed out in their review saying, hey, the game should have something like this. And hey, it's getting something like that. How can you complain that they're improving upon things that were criticized about the game? I don't understand it. And now at the end of March, when Duos comes back, Jimmy can tell his buddy Timmy to check out the game because now they can play together. Then Jimmy and Timmy go to school and tell Ricky and James about the game. Then Ricky and James tell some of their friends, and the player base grows, you guys. It grows. And I can hear some of you right now in the back of the classroom raising your hands but still talking out loud. It's really annoying, going, but Fish, last time we had a battle pass, people left, and Duos mode splits the player base. Yeah, you're right. You can take your 2-year-old stats, your year-and-a-half-old stats, and read them to yourself, and because they're 2-year-old stats. They're year-and-a-half-old stats. This is a new game, honestly. Darwin Project in full release is a new game. The way it plays is different. The way that people are playing it and coming into it is different than things were 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. So we're moving on from that point. I'm not even going to argue it. And maybe the group of guys I just listed won't play every hour or every day, but that's okay because they're playing the game. The second you build a game for the hardcore audience, that game is already set up for failure. Hell, to an extent, we saw this issue with early access. We had a hyper-competitive player base with no casual audience, because at the time, all people that were playing the game were a competitive group of people. And then anytime a new player came into the game, they left literally like a couple games later, maybe a day later if we got lucky. Because they couldn't really do anything, and there was no real way for them to learn. Like, they weren't playing against people that were at their skill level because there weren't enough people to make a lobby of people that were at their skill level. And to anybody saying, oh, they could have watched streams or YouTube guides to learn how to play, not everybody watches streams or YouTube videos. It's as simple as that. And I can see you rolling your eyes and scoffing right now, but it's true. There are people out there that just don't do that kind of stuff. They may watch a YouTube video that may end up on their Facebook page when they're scrolling through, but they could be, a 40-year-old dad who gets home from work and just wants to play video games. And he sees Darwin Project as this free game, comes and checks it out, and realizes, oh, wow, everybody in here is really, really sweaty, for lack of a better word. And then he leaves because there's no way for him to learn and get better over time. And to anyone saying, oh, they could have just kept playing till they got better, and then, they would be better, and then everything would be fine. I ask you this, is losing over and over again fun for you until you finally get that one win? I didn't think so. Now, to wrap up this section, I'm going to go back to that quote from earlier. Things that allow for the serious player base to put their skills to the test. Well, the serious player base is not the primary player base anymore. It's as simple as that. And I mean that in the nicest way possible, because I think it's something that the competitive community, you guys aren't realizing right now. The game itself wants to grow, and to grow, you have to cater towards the casual audience. You have to, because the casual people are what grow your numbers and grow your game. Yes, your hardcore community is always there, but if you build the game for the hardcore audience, casual players don't want to play it. And it's as simple as that. And that even goes further than, if we're talking the super hardcore audience, anybody who creates content for it, the game is never made for you, and nor should it ever be. I see people complaining on Twitter. I saw somebody just this morning. I'm not going to name names, but I saw somebody just this morning saying, oh, right now all I do is just combo people whenever I join lobbies. The game is really boring for me. That's okay, because the game isn't made for you. The developers at Scav don't make the game so you can play it and you feel good and you are busy and you have everything that you want. Because if you had everything you want and everything was the way that that person wants it to be, then nobody new is ever going to touch the game. And people that do will leave, and it'll be a same early access scenario. And I don't know why that's so hard for you guys to understand. Anybody that wants old Darwin back, there's a reason why the game is new and it's not like early access Darwin. And your complaining is really falling on deaf ears, or people that really probably don't want to hear it. Because if you break the game back to old Darwin, it's the same issue and the player base is going to be even smaller. And I can see you guys arguing right now, oh, the player base is small right now. It's small, sure, on PC. I see the numbers. It's small. But have you guys thought about console? Have you thought about PS4? Have you thought about Xbox? Because personally, for me, I play on Xbox, and the player base is pretty solid. I see new faces in there every day checking it out. I'm talking to new people, and there's new players that are in there showing the skills that they do have, and it's great. And it's constantly growing and it's rotating. So if you're somebody out there that plays on PC and you have access to a PS4 and Xbox, maybe go check out the game on those platforms. Find yourself some a new group of people to play with, or just new people to play against. Spice up the game for yourself. That way, that's there. And you may be saying, oh, well, I shouldn't have to do that. I should be able to play out the game all the time. But again, the game is no longer made for you guys. And I don't think it's going to be that way. Yeah, you may get top 100 eventually or stuff like that, but the game isn't made of the focus of let's make the competitive community happy and let's make the game super competitive. It's not like that. I remember a a back and forth Twitter conversation I had with somebody talking about, oh, Darwin's, it's one of those small games. It's like Quake or honestly whatever other game. I forget the conversation because it's old, but it's Quake. It's going to have a small community. It'll always have a small community because it has a small player base. And that's just the way it's going to be because of the nature of the game. But that was when when Darwin was in early access, and it's no longer like that. The game has an opportunity and a spark and a chance to grow, but it's not going to do that when there's this misunderstanding of who the game is being made for, and when half the players are so upset because the game isn't exactly what they want it to be anymore. And I don't know, I could ramble on and on and on about this, and we can honestly talk more about it after this video, and maybe there's another video I make about it or something, because I think that this topic's so interesting, but there's just such a misunderstanding right now from the community. And I'm going to say, before we move on to the next section, the serious player base, the competitive group, the hardcore players, the game isn't made for you. You're not the primary audience. And on that note, we're going to move on to part 2 of the video. Part 2 is the toxicity problem, which is honestly the bigger issue here. It's one that has lowered the player count before and is currently lowering the player count and will continue to do so if it isn't stopped or at least combated in any way. And that issue, is the toxicity problem. I repeated myself there. It's fine. You know, we're rolling with it. We're rolling. And when I say toxicity, that includes the racism, the misogyny, the homophobic remarks, and honestly anything that could offend somebody. And again, I see you guys in the back of the classroom raising your hands and saying, "Oh, but can't anything offend somebody nowadays?" Sure, it can. And I'm not talking about things like that. I'm talking about all the other comments like making fun of somebody who's handicapped or someone who is, mentally challenged. That's what I'm talking about. And the short answer to all of this is stop it. If you're someone that currently does it, stop it. It isn't okay, and I don't know why you think it is okay. And if we need to have that conversation, whether it's in the comment section of this video or on Discord or on Twitter, and I just need to, we can have a conversation, I can explain to you why some of the things you're saying are wrong, then that's okay. I'm okay with doing that. And if you're someone in game and you're playing and you hear somebody saying things like the N-word or like really like just obscene curses at like some kid who's playing the game or making fun of somebody with a speech impediment or something like that, don't just mute them. That's the easy answer. That fixes the solution for you, but not for the other. Let's do the math here. Take away that guy and then, take away you. 9 people in the lobby, 10 people in the lobby, depending. You have an opportunity here to stop and tell them, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Ask them to stop, tell them to stop. And if you get a response like, why? It isn't hurting anybody, or, it's freedom of speech, whatever, stop and explain to them why what they're doing is wrong. It's as simple as that. You have an opportunity there to be like, hey, what you're doing is wrong, guys. And it's not okay. And if you tell them right then and there that it's wrong, they may not stop it right away, but you're at least planting the seed in their head that for them to then think, maybe what I'm saying all the time isn't wrong. And then a month from now, they have stopped it. You know what I mean? And maybe it takes 4 other people telling them, hey, what you're saying is wrong, for them to realize that, but at least be the first person to do it. And now, if you're a streamer or a YouTuber or just somebody of influence within the Darwin community, stop it. Especially, if you're doing it, stop it. And if you hear someone in-game or you see somebody in your chat, stop it. Some of you might not realize it, but you have an audience of people watching you, and I bet some of them look up to you. Just make sure you're being a good influence, because you do have an impact whether you know it or not. And that's something I've been thinking about a lot recently, especially since full release. I see it more and more. There's a lot of younger kids playing the game. There's probably even a couple of them watching this video. And, they're in game playing and they hear the N-word or a ton of like obscene curses or someone being made fun of because they could be gay or bisexual or whatever. Or just they could even be female. And that's so stupid. Like, that's stupid that there's people being made fun of for that reason. But someone that's younger could be in the game and hear all this, and then 2 games from now, or even a game from now, they start saying stuff like that because, oh, it made so-and-so upset, and then, another person won the game because of it. So if I start doing it, maybe I'll win the game. Because that's a mentality that younger kids could have. They're still impressionable. They're still trying to learn what their personal values are and stuff. And you have, you talking the way you could be talking shapes that, it influences that in a way you might not understand or a way you might not know. So just be careful about what you're saying and who you're saying it to, because it's, there's way more impact to it than I think people understand. And to end this whole section right here, not the whole section, but this little part, I want to talk about a story that happened just yesterday. I had just finished the script for this video and I was like, okay, I'm going to stream. I'm going to play some Darwin. And I hopped into a game, and it was towards the end of my stream. I hopped in and it was me, someone else, and the director that were in the lobby, just us 3 people. And I loaded in to this player being just berated comment after comment by the director. The player had a speech impediment, and he talked different, and he was being made fun of by the director. And mind you, this is on Xbox, so there's not really a ton we can actually do. I mean, there is, but there really isn't. And I loaded in right into the middle of this back and forth of this kid and this guy were having. And, I stood up for the kid. I said, hey, that's not okay. You can't just make fun of somebody like that. And the person in response was like, oh, why are you being such a hard ass? Why are you getting so defensive? It's not offensive. If it doesn't offend me, how can it offend this person? And mind you, these were things that this person was saying. I'm not just making it up. And it's the director just kept doing it over and over again, making fun of this kid. And, I kept time after time sticking up for this kid in this lobby while we're waiting for people to load in, up to the point even where we loaded into the match and the director was still just following around this kid, making fun of him. And mind you, at this point, I believe the kid had muted the director, but I hadn't muted him yet. And he was still just berating him, whether the kid could hear him or not, and just following him around until we ended up being the first fight that match. And I just kept hearing it over and over again. And then he realized that I was right there, and he started berating me for trying to stick up and being a white knight and being such a pussy and everything like that. And again, I go back to the point of me telling him to stop. You're right, it might not have done anything right there in that moment, but maybe next time he does it, someone else tells him to stop. And the next time he does it, somebody else tells him to stop. And over time, maybe that person will at least understand that what they're doing is wrong. And if they don't, then we just cut them out of the community. Don't let this stuff stick around and be a part of what Darwin has going on, because it's so stupid. I don't know why it's just people turn a blind eye to it and they go, oh, hey, someone's saying that. Like, we don't have to look at that right now, chat. Or hey, someone's doing this right now. Hey, I'm just going to mute this, guys. Okay, cool. I'm not going to do anything about it. We're just going to mute it and move on. Hey, chat, how you guys doing? Everything's perfectly okay when you know something's going on. I don't know. It's crazy to me. There's such easy ways to like help change people's point of views and people's perspective on things, but there's just not a lot of people doing it. And it's terrible. Now to the team at Scavenger's Studio. I told you guys I was going to mess it up again. I have a couple of questions. Why hasn't there been any kind of post talking about this issue, whether it's in the Discord, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's a blog post? Why hasn't there been anything talking about this issue, telling the community it isn't okay, that it's not okay to do those things? Hey, we're Scav Studio, and this is our stance on this. And if you do this, you will be banned time after time, and you get aggressive and you get on top of people about it. I understand there's a report system and that people get banned, but people are obviously slipping through the cracks of that system and still causing problems for loads of people. And causing problems is the short end of it. That's literally me sugarcoating it and saying it in the lightest way possible. I think about people like Flavored On Girl on Twitter and seeing her posts of someone just constantly over again calling her babe in Darwin Project, when we all know that's not okay. That's just wrong. It's not offensive or anything like that, but it's just wrong. There's no reason for that stuff like that to go on, or any of the other things that people have pointed out on Twitter that still have no answering to them, of saying, why is stuff like this still allowed to go on? And it's both a community question and a developer question. So I would love to see a developer stance saying, hey, this is our stance on this, and this stuff isn't okay. Because I think about a game like Overwatch and how the devs took so long to answer or put out any comment on the toxicity problem that it was already too late. And you may say Overwatch is still toxic or whatever. Yes, but if you get on top of it soon enough, then it's no longer an issue. Or not no longer an issue, but it's actually combated and it's lessened. And that's what I need. It's not going to disappear overnight. Everybody here knows that. But something that says, hey, this is the stance that we have now, and this is how things are going to be. And then my other question is, why isn't there more Discord moderation? It's crazy to me. Currently, at the time of recording this commentary, and at the time of writing the script last night, and it's still there. I checked it obviously, because at the time of recording this commentary, there's a conversation and a back and forth about porn that happened yesterday in the Xbox chat of the Discord. That's just sitting there, and it's two guys sitting there going back and forth talking about how, oh, so and so is involved in porn and it's crazy, and then someone didn't get the joke, so I'm going to explain it more, and it's disgusting. And that's just in Discord. It's in simple Discord. All it takes is a delete and a ban, or a delete and a warning. And if they do it again, then it takes a ban. That's all it takes. And I get that there's not a ton of people there. There's not a ton of community moderators. And there's maybe not a ton of community managers that have time to manage the Discord 24/7. I understand that. But then why are there not more Discord moderators, and active ones at that? I don't think I've seen a community moderator moderate or stop anything in a while. Most of the people that I see are on Do Not Disturb, and they're barely ever typing in there. And I don't even know if they actually look at the Discord and what's going on. And I get it's not as easy as like, oh, this person can be moderated, this person can be community moderator, so forth, so forth. But make a process for adding new ones. Make an application. Give your partners the ability to moderate, because they should be being positive forces anyway. I mean, again, I say should be. But please do something, because it's so rampant that it's terrible. And I know I just told the community in the player base like a paragraph ago or a couple minutes ago saying, hey, tell people to stop it. But even as a player base, we can tell people to stop it all we want. But until we do something, and something is actually said and or done by you guys, it doesn't fully matter what the community does. It doesn't. We need the developers to take a stance saying, hey, this stuff isn't okay. And then the community understands that. And then change actually happens at a better rate than it would happen now. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave this section of the video. But please, do something. That's all I ask. Do something. Now, we're going to move on to part 3, which is a message to the Darwin Project partners. And before we get into it, this is in no way directed at all the partners. People are going to listen to this, and you guys are going to know who you are. Because I think that there's a group of people who are doing a great job of being partners and upholding the values that they, signed on to uphold, and the things that they signed on to do, like be a positive part of the community, make content for the game, and stuff like that. There's other people who aren't upholding that side, and I think it's apparent, and I just want to make sure you guys understand. So Hey guys, it's me, WelfareFish. Some of you know me, some of you don't know me. But I feel like this just has to be said. Scavenger's Studio, geez, there we go, doesn't owe you anything. And I feel like some of you forgot that once the roadmap came out, maybe even before that. You guys shouldn't publicly complain and then turn your community on Scav because something you want isn't on the roadmap. You have the ability to talk to people at Scavengers about what you would like to see in the game and what you currently aren't liking, and you have the ability to quietly do that, an option that a lot of us and most of us don't have. And it doesn't mean you send them walls of text blaming them for things you don't like and things that you hate, and you don't blame them, and you shouldn't blame them for low viewer counts or the fact that you're bored with the game. You shouldn't do that. The fact that the game isn't exactly what you want to be is not their fault. It's as simple as that. And I've seen so much of that from a handful of partners recently, and it's disgusting. Again, I use that word a lot because a lot of these things are just disgusting. You guys are supposed to be positive partners for the game, not roast the game on Twitter for not being what you want it to be. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And if you still plan on stepping away after seeing the roadmap and maybe playing some more League of Legends or Apex Legends, or depending on how things go, you plan on going back to speedrunning, I just hope you still plan on keeping up with your partner requirements of 2 streams a week or 4 YouTube videos a month. And if you don't, make sure you talk to Scav about getting it removed or taken away. I'm not sure how that process works. And not because anybody hates you or because, I even hate you, but because it's simple and fair. If you're not going to uphold the values that you need to as a partner, don't sit there and keep holding on to a partner for a game you don't enjoy playing. And that sentiment goes out to anybody who doesn't even follow the partner guidelines anymore, or doesn't even stream or make content for the game anymore. If there's someone out there and you know that you're still a partner and you see it, you go to their website and you're on their partner page, or you just see mentions of it on Twitter, or it's still in your Twitter bio, reach out to Scav and get it taken away or removed as well. Because even if you don't, and this goes for both categories of what I just said, because even if you don't feel passionate about the game anymore, there are a bunch of people who are extremely passionate about the game, and they would love to be in your position, and they would love to be partners. They would love to be a positive force for the game, making content, enjoying the game, because there are a ton of people that do enjoy the game right now, whether you realize it or not. I get it. You go on Twitter and you go, hey guys, I don't know, after the roadmap today, I'm going to keep grinding to, be the best player. But after that, I don't really know what I'm going to do. It's, or, oh, hey, I saw the roadmap and I'm going to be switching up my main game. And, I'll still be around for tourneys and stuff. But, I don't really know, guys. Darwin's not looking too hot right now. Even if you may feel that way, there's a ton of people who don't feel that way. And again, they would love to be partners. And honestly, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't one of them. But after making a video like this, calling people out and calling groups and communities out, I don't think I'll ever get it. But someone had to make this video, so I guess it might as well be me, because no one else was going to. So, honestly, to all the Darwin Project partners out there, I leave you with this. If you plan on being negative, being toxic, just complaining, or just blaming other sources for your issues, or if you plan on just, keep crapping on the game because it's not doing what you want, or, oh, I'm just so bored of it, or, oh, man, my viewer count's so low because the game's just so boring, then stop being a partner. Go play another game. Some of you are already doing that already to begin with, and if that's what you enjoy doing, just keep doing that. It's as simple as that. You don't have to hold on to this partner because it's not like there's something bigger on the corner that you're going to be a part of, all because you have that partner status that's been sitting there inactive and you haven't been doing anything with for however long. It's as simple as that. Like, if you do still care about the game and you are right now currently being negative or toxic, just get your shit together. Put your stuff in order and go, hey, this is how I feel. This is what I'm doing. And just do that. Just do that. Either get your stuff together or don't. And if you don't want to, figure out your priorities for Darwin and think, oh, hey, this is a game I still want to make content on, then just stop. That's fine. No one's going to fault you, and no one should fault you for just simply saying, hey, I don't want to be a partner anymore. It's as simple as that. And Scav, if currently right now, if there are people who you think shouldn't be partners anymore, just go ahead and talk to them and be like, hey, we don't feel like you're upholding the guidelines to be partner anymore. And they talk to them, have a conversation. No one's going to be mad at you for taking partner away from somebody. The community is not going to riot. And if they do, then they're not a real community. If they can't respect the choices that the developers are making, then they're not a real community. And I feel like that goes back to everything that I've said earlier in this video. But if you plan to continue being a partner, just be a positive force for the game. Maybe make a tournament of other partners if you're feeling a little top 100 deprived. Play with partners once duos out and get to know them more, and stuff like that. Another great example of if you're bored with the game right now, or if you're too good at your combos and you're just winning every pub, put a challenge on yourself. Say, hey, I'm only going to try to win this game using a bow, or maybe not getting any upgrades. Challenge yourself a little bit more. Come up with things that you can do that make the game still fun for you. And if that's not able to happen, then that's okay. You just step away. But just enjoy being a partner and make sure you're a partner for the right reasons, because I feel like some of you might have forgotten those reasons, the reasons why you became partner, the reasons why partners exist. Because partners aren't there to cater your every needs. It's there for you to help be a source to grow the game and make sure that the game is a positive place and a positive environment. And I don't see a lot of that right now. I see a lot of partners who get partner and then they just go back to doing their own thing. They're so solo, they're so in their one lane, and you guys don't ever reach out or branch out or like play with other partners or do things unless it's, oh, hey, we happen to be in the tourney, or hey, we happen to be here. But like branch out, hang out with each other. And no one's going to sit there and like steal all your viewers because you played it from once or twice. Like there's such as, oh, I need to be by myself now that I'm this partner and keep grinding the game mentality. But it's okay to not be that 24/7. And no one's going to steal your viewers or anything like that. It's okay, guys. Things are going to be okay. All right. And yeah, just enjoy being a partner, you guys. Enjoy being a partner. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hit all 3 sections. I talked about the roadmap drama, which really was more talking about the casual versus competitive community. I talked about the toxicity problem, and I ended with a message to the partners. 3 things that I said I was going to hit on. I hope that watching this video hopefully put some things into perspective for some people, and I hope that there will be some changes here soon, both from the developers, from the community, and just a lot of perspective shifts. If you guys and gals have questions, comments, concerns, or ideas, don't hesitate to reach out. That could be in the comment section of this video, and I'm okay with having civil discussions back and forth. If you're just going to yell at me and go, actually this, or things like that, then we're not going to conversate. There's no time for that. There's no need for that. But if you want to have a civil discussion, I'm always around. The ways to contact me are down below, like Discord, Twitter, etc. Thank you all for watching this video. And especially, if you're a community member, if you're a partner, if you're someone at Scav, if you're just a Fishbowl member, thank you guys for watching this video. I sincerely appreciate it. I've been WelfareFish, and I'll talk to you all next time. Take care, and goodbye.